Actually, in the import world, Mitsubishi was one of the first ones. In 1982, the Mitsubishi developed its own cylinder deactivation system in the form of modular displacement. The first used in MMC 1.4 4D12 inline four-cylinder. So we took a four-cylinder engine, Mitsubishi did, and when they deactivated the cylinders, it became an inline two-cylinder. It wasn't used very long. It functioned successfully and was hailed as the world's first since the Cadillac system proved to be a bust. General Motors has a claim to fame of the first cylinder management system back in '81. The technology was later used on the MMC V6 engines, but the effort was short-lived due to the lack of response from car buyers. Car buyers did not, computers have gotten faster in today's automobiles. They can make over 80 times a second calculation. The computers in the older Mitsubishi just weren't that fast, and there was a lot of the customer, where Mercedes wanted you to deactivate and activate within 30 thousandths of a second, the Mitsubishi was not that fast, and the customers were not real happy with the feel of it going in. So, debut of the Mitsubishi Modular Displacement, what they called it. It worked in conjunction with variable valve timing, variable valve lift, electronic control, went from a four-cylinder to a two-cylinder. Short-lived. Only in European, but we may see it as every car manufacturer is worried about what? What happens in 2025? The corporate average fuel economy has to be over, I think, 52 miles to the gallon. So this technology, even though it has its problems, is going to continue on the large displacement engines. In Euro, they have what's called the Euro 1.4 Polo TSI, again, turbo-stratified injections. 70%, what we have in the United States is called a federal drive cycle. European has their own drive cycle. What they do is they put the vehicle through different drive cycles and they measure the average fuel economy. So here, at 70% of the drive cycle, they are in active cylinder management. So that's going to really help that vehicle meet the European requirements for average fuel economy. They're going to combine this with it's turbocharged, it's direct injected, variable cam timing. Again, we're going to reduce pumping losses because with electronic throttle control, we can open the throttle farther and reduce those pumping losses. And also help scavenge the system because we have a turbocharger also on this engine. So kind of a unique way. I know when we use variable valve lift on Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen, it's kind of unique. If you look closely here, there's our control solenoid, and this camshaft is rotating, and when that little pin comes out, it hits a slot in the camshaft and shifts the camshaft. So in a Porsche, when you get to a certain RPM and you're going to switch to a higher lift, longer duration lobe, they can engage it and move the cam to a more high performance lobe. But what if this engages and moves to a lobe that is round? Round, the valve's not going to open. That's exactly how we activate Volkswagen, Audi. We guide the camshaft to shift forward. It's on like a worn out lobe. It's round, intended purpose. It shuts both the intake and the exhaust valve. And the computer is controlling that activation solenoid. And there's a better shot of it. Little pins directing what lobe we go to. So we could have several lobes on there. We could direct it to a more aggressive lobe or a high performance, or if we're in economy mode, we can direct it to a round lobe, which closes the intake, closes the exhaust, turns off the injector, opens the throttle, reduce pumping losses, and save fuel on those cylinders that are deactivated.